So after finishing the book River of Ashes, I found a note that's in the back of the book, a note from Alexandria West, and it talks a lot about the need for us to move forward in our society and as a world and as a human race where we respect women more and that we take sexual assault more seriously. And I really just feel like her message was very well delivered, so I'm going to go ahead and read it to you here. This is from The Rivers of Ash by Alexandria West. This is her notes. A note from Alexandria West. Since writing about a psychotic young man and the depraved acts he commits on young women, I'm often asked how I can help pen such a violent and abusive storyline. It's a good question, but in a culture saturated with the Me Too movement and the pro-women agenda, we must realize that no matter how much we think we've progressed, we haven't accomplished a whole hell of a lot where violence against women is concerned. In the state of Louisiana, where the St. Benedict series is set, 600 to 700 acts of sexual assault in high school are reported annually. Many mental health counselors feel the acts amount is 3 to 4 times that number. In a small state like Louisiana, that is a huge problem. And archaic law in the state makes it impossible for CDC to track sexual violence among minors. So we may never know the true extent of the horror. Put those numbers on a national or international scale, and the image is horrendous. What does that say about how we regard women, not as a culture or nation, but as a world? Women make up half the planet, but are bullied and suppressed, beaten and raped every minute across the globe. So why aren't all these women reporting these crimes? For the same reason women have kept quiet for centuries. Threats, intimidation, shame, and no one will listen to them. The victims of Bayo Deverex's debauchery kept quiet for the same reason. Many young women in high school do today. Fear of reprisals, humiliation, peer pressure, and lack of trust in the system. When high school counselors and teachers don't listen or believe a young woman's report, she will more than likely never seek help. These girls will withdraw, change their appearance, live in dread of being discovered, and feel shame over what occurred. Before strides can be made to stop the abuse against women, we must embrace a perspective of not assigning guilt to any victim and stop blaming women for being women. Their sex, personality, behavior, or clothes did not lead to the attack. The disturbed individual and their twisted disregard is the culprit. Sexual assault was the choice he made, not her. What saddens me is how little things have changed since I was in high school. In the 80s, there was less education, no counseling, and only whispers shared in the halls about sexual assault. Despite the millions of dollars schools pour into programs today, the number and experiences have not turned around. I remember watching firsthand a schoolmate suffer the aftermath of a sexual assault, but no one knew what was happening at the time. No one spoke about such atrocities. Popular, beautiful, a cheerleader, and a kind person, Lady L was admired by the girls in our class and was noticed by all the boys. When she scored a hot date with a popular, wealthy boy from another school, rumors swirled in the halls, especially about this guy's penchant for date rape. But no one told Lady L about it. Weeks after her date, everyone noticed the change in her. A young woman who had once dressed well and took pride in her begonia social calendar was seen in baggy clothes and withdrew from all activities. I remember noticing and having a few others mention it to me, but I never put the signs together because no one had taught us about it or what it had meant. 35 years later, the high school classmate finally told her family, husband, children, and friends what had happened to her. She lost her virginity to a man who had drugged and raped her. He never paid for his crime. His wife and children do not know what he did, but I remember after reading her post on social media how sad I was that I didn't recognize the signs and reach out to help her. If I had, I often wonder what I would have done. Part of me wants to write this novel for her, my Lady L, to open the eyes of young people about what can happen even in the smallest of towns. Books and movies can reach a large audience and educate individuals faster than the word of mouth, social media, or the news. Perhaps more attention needs to be paid to this taboo subject by literacy and motion picture companies. A truthful depiction can open the door of discussion, let victims know they are not alone, and spread the word that nothing justifies sexual assault. Nothing. And like the girls victimized by Bayo Deverex, women can band together, fight back, and get justice. We have a voice. Find your voice. Speak up. Speak out against any form of sexual harassment, assault, or violence. If it happens to you, please seek help. Talk to officials, friends, family. Never keep quiet. If you know someone who has been a victim, stand beside them, support them, and believe what they tell you. Have someone listen is the first step to getting help. Talk to everyone you can and be an advocate for change. Get loud, get angry, and fight back against the inadequate justice system and state and federal laws that protect the guilty and hurt the innocent. Individuals, we may be regarded as just women, but together we make up half the planet and are a force that no man can ignore. So to answer the question of how I helped write such a dark and sinister tale about sexual assault, let me say this. Until we confront the ugliness we keep hidden beneath the surface, The suffering of women in our society will continue to be the impetus for novels like this. Change isn't easy, but it's possible, even if we have to tackle it one book at a time. Thank you to the author, one of the authors, for her insight and for sharing with us why she decided to write the novel. This was from Alexandria West, who was a co-author of Rivers of Ashes. I actually just received a message on Instagram, and they let me know that they're going to have 5 books in the St. Benedict series, not 3. So I don't know what the names of the other 2 are, but I did receive book 1 and 2 through Katie and Bray PA, their book tour on Instagram. So I am hoping to get my hands on book 3, 4, and 5, but we'll see what happens. And I was also told that they're going to send a signed copy of River of Ashes for us, so we will have that in our book mail. And I was pronouncing the names wrong because they are French, and I should know better. But the first name is not Bewu, it's Beau, like hair bow, and then the last name was not Deverex, it's Devereaux. So Beau Devereaux. I said it wrong the whole time. So all we can do is move forward, having that information. It's a French pronunciation, Beau Devereaux, not Beau Deverex. And there's 5 books. But we're going to get a signed copy of one, so we can only get better from here, guys, right? I still liked it. Did you like it? I liked it. It was dark, and I'm going to be thinking about it for a while.